So I wanted to explain what it is that you're experiencing when you see someone who is in power, whatever view of power that you see, like, or whatever it is that you're looking at that you consider power. And I'm going to make it make sense to you by breaking down the anatomy of it. There are some powers unachievable to you right now because you can't see that they're made up of stacked powers. This means that Donald Trump is a product of generational wealth. It is Donald Trump's power stacked with his father's, who gave him freaking like $1 million loan or whatever, and his fathers and his fathers and his fathers. But without knowing the stacking, you will think that one individual is just somehow in a better place than the rest of us. Like, it's stacked power. And on top of that, it is passed on power. Let me explain what I mean by that, because it's a very odd statement. So, let's use Elon Musk, richest man in the world at the moment, or at least like that we can see, because there's people we cannot see very obviously. You'll find that he's CEO of Tesla, CEO of SpaceX, CEO of the Boring Company, CEO of whatever, you know what I mean? And he has interest in the company, but you'll find that the power that he has, or that he, the level that he's at comes from delegating power, if that makes sense. So the reason I'm telling you this, right? If you look in his companies, you'll find that there's someone who is not Elon, who is running around equally as much or more, right? The groundwork, that's not Elon. And it is passed on power because he used to be much more groundwork. He used to be the groundwork, yeah? But this passing on element is an important part of stacking different powers so that it becomes a big cumulative power. So there's a point in your job where you'll need to, because you've reached power, right? And you'll feel it when you feel it. Because you've reached power, you need to write down whatever it is that you're doing and make it as easy to pass on as possible so that you can get someone under you who is running stuff perfectly the way you would, knows the things that you would. And you can go on to another endeavor, gain power in that, give someone your work in the area, go somewhere else, gain power in that, give someone your work in the area, so on and so forth, so that the altogether power is an accumulation of various other powers, and then you become a compound. A book which is a compound of all other books, or knowledge which is a compound of all other knowledge, inherently is more potent, in the same way that philosophers who have learned from philosophers come up with more intricate and more complete philosophies. It's just the idea that the baton is passed forward. So realize that you need to, at the end of everything, right, or when you get it to a very good place, form the baton, right, and look for the person to pass the baton to. It's also important, or at least conceptualize them, know who it's going to be when they come around, because the idea is it's not one continuous you sprinting the entire way, yeah? It's all of us. So generations after you, generations before you, all have been passing down the baton, and this is one of the ways which life goes. So realize that your power is not just for you to wallow in and just have and finally I'm in power, because a statistic is either going up or it's going down. There is no constant statistic, there is no constant anything in life. It's getting better or it's getting worse if you observe it, yeah? Even a diamond will wither. It's getting worse integrally. Everything is temporary. So the idea is if it's not going up, it's going down. And your power in itself needs to go up. It means you need to delegate and you need to stack different levels of power. To not reach power as a photographer and stay there, because you'll lose from staying there. There's fluctuation. You need to achieve power as a photographer, delegate whatever the hell to someone, and then go into finance. Reach power in finance, delegate whatever the hell, and then go into public relations and perception management. Reach power in that, delegate whatever the hell, and then it'll become real power just by virtue of you're in power everywhere. But power cannot be truly perfected without help. So then this will mess you up because you're very independent and very self-determined. But I'll tell you what, everybody has a mom. You can't make it without help. Not fully. You can have most of the fun without help, but I'll tell you what, we're all in this together is the actual reality.